Good afternoon on what is a cool, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 19th of December and I'm in the Read Nook with a package has come from Ireland. So, let's get this open and a couple of things in here. Can't quite see what they are. Let's slide them out and unpack them. Oh, I can see that they're Doctor Who books. And these, here we are. Okay, these are Doctor Who 60 Years, the role-playing game, second edition, 60 Years of Role-Playing, Book 2 and Book 1. Oh, I'm already looking forward to digging into these. I've got all the Doctor Who role-playing games. I've got most of the supplements produced for them. This is the very latest, and this provides essentially background details to all of the sort of like the previous kind of classic Who of Doctor Who for essentially the Doctor Who the role-playing game second edition. Because what you've got with Doctor Who is sort of like you've got classic Who, which kind of runs from 1963 all the way up to the early 90s with the film, and that covers all the first 8 Doctors. Then 2005 you have Christopher Eccleston take over as the 9th Doctor, and you have New Who coming all the way up to date with, as I'm sat here, we've just had the 14th Doctor and the return of David Tennant as the Doctor, and then the arrival of the 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, and we're going to get his first story, full story, come Christmas Day next week, and I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, so Doctor Who 60 Years, the role-playing game, second edition, 60 Years of Adventure, Book 1. Doctor Who 60 Years of Adventure celebrates the world's longest-running science fiction television show with joyous time travel extravaganza. Joining us for the highlights of the world's most beloved Time Lord's amazing adventures, encounter terrifying Daleks, Cybermen and countless other unforgettable enemies, experience the wonders of travelling in the TARDIS. Hundreds of episodes of stories, thousands of years of travel through time and space, from the dawn of time and the birth of our planet to the end of the universe as the last star fades. Book 1 takes us back to the scrapyard where it began, when onwards into all of time and space, meet the Doctor, explore the TARDIS and set off on luminous adventures. Bring the classic Doctors and the most iconic companions and adversaries to life in your games of Doctor Who the role-playing game. 60 Years of Adventure at your fingertips, a treasure trove of adventures, aliens, creatures, gadgets, plots, conspiracies, and plenty of running. Doesn't say anything about corridors. An epic new series of adventures connecting every Doctor, a lustre of starlight, a must-have for fans, gamers, and Whovians of all ages. So let's just check. And what's interesting, so if you have a look here, you've got all of the Doctors up to across the room. You've got all the Doctors up until the very latest Doctor, not the 15th, but up to the 14th. So we have so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then on the second book, here are the Doctors of the New Who. Sorry, I keep saying New Who. New Who. So 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. The Timeless Child. She's actually one of my favourites. I absolutely wish she got some more television time, because I think she's going to make a terrific Doctor, given some full proper stories. That's just my opinion. We've also got the War Doctor as well, and then we come up to date with the 14th Doctor. So I'm going to have a look at this in another time. So looking forward to digging into this. Quite a slim volume, and this is done in the trade dress of the new second edition role-playing game, which I've done an unboxing of, and I've done reviews of both the starter set and the core rules. And here we begin with the classic era with the appearance of William Hartnell. And discussing the first Doctor. and it's the first Doctor's era. We've got a picture there of Barbara. We've got the story of the Aztecs there. Now, to be fair, if you go back to the first iteration of this role-playing game, Doctor Who Adventures in Time and Space role-playing game, you have all of the era books, which Cubicle 7 published for the 50th anniversary. This comes out at the time. This comes out 10 years later, at the time of the 60th. So here you've got stats for the Doctor himself, just quite simple. Then we get into the first the scenario, this Lustre of Starlight, just an overview, Act 1, and then Act 2 and 3. So you need possibly a bit of development there upon the part of the Game Master before we go on to the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton. And we've got Zoe. And it looks at the themes of the second Doctor. Let's go do the same again and over and over. And now we've got Jamie and Victoria. And we've got all the stats for the second Doctor's companions, done quite succinctly, not full character sheets as they have appeared in other supplements, but that's fine. And in some ways, this really is a sort of distillation of those era books. 13 of them, 13, 14 of them, into just a series, essentially a set of 2 books, this one and this one. And then we've got a storyline there for the second Doctor, the Cloud of Death, including encountering the Cybermen for the first time. The third Doctor, John Pertwee, picture of his TARDIS. And his themes, things like technology and vehicles and fights. It was much more a man of action as the Doctor. His adventures, and this is really only a very brief overview. To be fair, again, go and find those if you want fuller, more detailed gaming details on how to do adventures set during the period of the third Doctor. Go and find his source book, really good. And then details of his companions, including Joe Grant, Liz Shaw, everyone's favourite Sarah Jane Smith, and then Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge-Stewart. So that's the third Doctor, and on to his adventure, invasion of the Chronovilles, and then we come on to the fourth Doctor, and this is my favourite Doctor of the classic era, because I grew up during the period. I mean, I can just vaguely remember the end of the Troughton era. I think I don't remember very much of the early Pertwee, but I remember all the later Pertwees, and then the Doctor changed. And this is the Doctor who, this is the Doctor that came along for me in '74, and there's his backup control room. First Romana, Barry Tam. Second Romana, Layla Ward. All his companions, including the wonderful Layla. And then his adventure, The Curse of Starlight, continuing the sort of like the theme onwards. Oh, and can I say, fantastic! I absolutely. It's got a couple of characters in here, a couple of my favourites, who first appeared in the classic story Talons of Wen Chiang, but had their own Big Finish audio series. Henry Gordon Jago and Professor Gordon Lightfoot. Fantastic, essentially, of what would you do with a pair of old duffers, having adventures in time and space. And then Peter Davison, it's the fifth Doctor. And his themes, again, have their own source books if you can find them. They're really worth it. His adventures, his companions, and then we get into the Sontaran stalemate, his scenario, and then the Sixth Doctor, much derided, but if you actually go back and watch the stories, some of them are actually really good. It's just that some of them are really awful. Time Lash is unforgivable. So I've got stats there. The Sixth Doctor, a fantastic cloak. And then we have the Prize of Peladon, his adventure. And we have the Seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. I mean, if I have a favourite, if I have a second favourite, that's Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor. His companions, Mel, who made a wonderful reappearance in The Giggle, and then Dorothy Gale, Ace McShane, of course, Ace. His story. And then we've got the Draconians, who've not really appeared in any stories, and they're sort of like classic, species, sort of like intergalactic species that go back to the Third Doctor's era, dealing with them and the Daleks and Ogrons and the Master and so on. And then we go up to date. It's actually up to date, up to the 90s with Paul McGann as the Eighth Doctor, who only did the one movie and then the little Night of the Doctor piece prior to the 50th anniversary, which is a really great piece. And the great thing, if you do track down the first edition book on the Eighth Doctor, it's a fantastic treatment of essentially one source in terms of the film, and then the 10-minute mini film done 10 years ago. And then they turn the rest of the book into a campaign. And you have his companions, and to be fair, really only Grace there is a companion. They are stretching it a bit, I think, with the inclusion of Chang Li, but then you have to stretch an awful lot with the Eighth Doctor because his adventures are not canon. And here's his adventure, and so on. So, that is Doctor the Roleplaying Game, 60 Years of Adventure, Book 1. I'm already going, I can't wait to read this and give it a proper review. But then again, I can't wait to do an unboxing of this and give this a show you look through. This is a much thicker book. Oh, great, it's fantastic. It's got Alice Gordon Lethbridge Stewart's daughter in there, brilliant as the new leader of UNIT. Anyway, I'm not going to show you any more of that. It's this book I've been looking at. Because I love Doctor Who. I'm not the world's biggest Whovian, but I'm a fan. And I regularly watch it and enjoy it. Anyway, so that is Doctor Who 60 Years, the role-playing game, second edition, 60 Years of Adventure, Book 1 from Cubicle 7. Really like the look of that. In the meantime, thank you for watching another unboxing and look. If you're gonna if you enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.